I'm going to do another video on looking back at 5 years on YouTube. This one is going to be about the struggles with live streams. So here we go. Hi, I'm Tom Kovichak, and this is Tom's Trains and Things. This channel was created to help other modelers who are in need of guidance in pursuing their dream of building a model railroad. I have over 240 live streams. I have over 500 some rendered videos on YouTube in the past 5 years. But you would never think that I had trouble speaking in front of the camera. I did in the very beginning. I always had a camera in my hand, even with my first YouTube channel, Boring Family Videos. I never got in front of the camera until my third video on Tom's Trains and Things. That was a struggle right there. All my life, I had issues with expressing what I had to say. I knew what I wanted to say, but then there would be blank spots in my memory, and it would take a while for those blank spots to fill in. And that's why when I was doing videos, it would take so many takes just to get the dialogue done in a video. You don't see that in the finished products because of editing, but they're there up until a certain point. And I had the same problem with live streams. I did my first live stream May 24th, 2017. But before that date, I must have sat in front of the camera about 20 times, 3 or 4 months before that, ready to do a live stream, getting up to the point where you push that go live button and then back down at the very last minute because of my fear that I would forget what I was going to say. And that was a problem that I had all my life, and it became more and more of a problem when I was doing videos, and even more with live streams. And so that's why I sat there. I would prepare. I would have notes in front of me. I would have bullet points of what I wanted to say, just in case that my mind went blank. But I still didn't have the courage to get in front of that camera and go live. And finally, on May 24th, 2017, I did it. And I did it without a hitch. And I did about 6 or 7 more live streams that year. Until I did one on my first anniversary, June 25th, 2017. And that was a disaster because my computer kept crashing. But eventually, I got used to it. Later on, sometime after my episode with headaches in 2017, I was going to a neurologist, and I went to a neurologist for a couple of years. I'm still going to a neurologist, but after about a year, I told him about the issue that I was having with my memory, and he says, hey, that's no problem. You know, years ago, they never had anything before it, but now they have drugs for it. So he gave me donepezil. That changed everything in my life because that filled in the blank spots in my memory when I was talking. And now you can't shut me up because, you know, I'm doing 2 hours of live streams now, unscripted. I'll have just a couple of notes in there, the things that I want to start out with, and just go from there. And you could probably tell because my live streams go everywhere. I always preach to my kids to go ahead and do things. Don't be afraid to do things. I told them, take the first step and you're halfway there. And I didn't take my own advice. I was scared to death. I was scared of sitting there in front of the camera in a live stream and not being able to think of what to say next. Knowing what I wanted to say, but it just wouldn't come out. But I finally did it. And for those of you that have that same fear of getting in front of the camera and doing a live stream, my advice to you is just do it. Even though I had that fear that first time, I just went ahead and did it, just to get it over with. And it went without a hitch, like I said before. But just go ahead and do it. Take that first step, and you're halfway there. That's the biggest step. I did the same thing when I started my own business. I was scared to death. I did that back in 1988. But I had to do it. The issues that I was having with my employer, they were gouging all the customers, and I didn't like it, and I wanted to get out of it. And my only way of getting out of it is going and starting my own business and competing with them. And believe it or not, I did better. I did a lot better my first year than I thought I would. I made 4 times as much money as I thought I would. Don't get me wrong, it takes a lot of work. But if you're dedicated to do something, you'll get it done. And if you want to create videos, just go ahead and do it. Don't be afraid to get in front of that camera and speak what you have to say. So most of the time when I'm in front of the camera, like right now, it's unscripted. When I first got in front of the camera, I had a script. I had tablets in front of me like this, filled up with what I wanted to say. Right now, this is just notes of things that I want to put together in a video, this video here. But most of the time, it's unscripted now. You get used to it. Just get in front of that camera and do what you have to do. Have a purpose. Educate people. Tell them. Give them something to learn. Give them something that will inspire them. And entertain them, for God's sakes. Gee whiz. Get in front of that camera and entertain them. All right. So, I'm going to do a couple of clips here. I'm going to show you the first, not the whole thing. I'm not going to bore you with the whole thing. I'm going to show you a little bit of the first live stream that I did. And let me see, what else do I have over here? Oh yeah, I only did one live stream in 2018, and that was a mistake because I was over there recording something with OBS. Instead of hitting the record button, I hit the stream button. All right, this is my first attempt at a live stream, and I'm going to work on my lights that I said that I was going to be putting up in the ceiling, but before I put it up, I have to check it out. So here's the track right here. Now I'm not going to let this live stream go for too long because all I wanted to do on this one was to check out these lamps on here. Now that I know that all of them work except for 2 of the halogen ones, we're in good shape. So we'll see what's going on with this. I'm going to shut this off now. I'm going to come back on maybe a little bit later, maybe this evening or tomorrow, and we'll be doing a video on making the L girders, and then one putting them up on the ceiling and then mounting the tracks on it. So if you're watching, thank you. Here is when I was streaming and I thought I was just recording. And I almost forgot. I picked these up from Robert Sacco. He said that he cleaned out his grandfather's place, this was about 6 months ago, and he had some kits available, and I told him I wanted a couple of them, and he held on to them until I saw him at the Tampa Train Show. But these are E. Soydeman Company. I have to work on these yet. Electronics plant, and the Swift Meat Packing Company, but I'll be showing some videos on building these and the other wood kits that I have in the future, sometime coming up this year. I don't know when, but they'll be in there. So keep an eye out for those. I see a lot of channels giving advice on live streaming, and what I went through is probably the biggest problem that everybody has, is that fear of doing it the first time. But what I have to say, and like I said before, just go ahead and do it with anything, not just live streaming, not with just making videos, not with, just starting a business or whatever it is. Just take that first step and you're halfway there. That's the best advice that I have to give anybody. So until the next time, we'll see ya.